Imagine a vehicle so powerful, it changed the way armies across the world moved and fought. A tank, but different. A machine designed to carry soldiers into battle while giving them the firepower to face anything that came their way. This is the story of the BMP, the infantry fighting vehicle that revolutionized warfare. From its humble beginnings in the Soviet Union to its continued legacy on the front lines today, the BMP-1 and its successor, the BMP-2, reshaped armored combat forever. But what makes these vehicles so special? And why do they continue to influence military strategies decades after their introduction? Stick with us as we take a deep dive into their history, their evolution, and why they are still relevant today. In 1966, the Soviet Union unveiled a new kind of vehicle, the BMP-1. Its full name, Boyevaya Mashina Pechety, translates to infantry combat vehicle. But what exactly made this vehicle so groundbreaking? Up until then, tanks and APCs, armored personnel carriers, were the primary means of transporting soldiers on the battlefield. However, they were limited in their effectiveness. Tanks, while powerful, were too heavy and cumbersome to move rapidly across the battlefield. APCs, on the other hand, were designed mainly to protect infantry but lacked the firepower needed to deal with tanks or heavily fortified positions. The BMP-1 combined the best of both worlds. It was fast, versatile, and packed enough punch to deal with armored threats. This vehicle was designed for one purpose: to fight in the European theater of war. It was lightweight enough to be maneuvered by the Soviet mechanized forces, and it was equipped with a powerful 73mm smoothbore cannon and a first-generation anti-tank missile, the AT-3 Sagar, capable of taking on enemy tanks. However, as soon as it was deployed, it became clear that the BMP-1 had several vulnerabilities. In the 1973 Yom Kippur War, the BMP-1 was tested against Israeli forces. The results were devastating. The vehicle's armor couldn't withstand large-caliber machine gun fire and artillery shells. Even worse, the vehicle's design made it an easy target in combat situations. In the arid, mountainous terrain of Afghanistan, where insurgents armed with RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades, were a constant threat, the BMP-1 struggled to keep up. Its armor was too thin, its internal layout too exposed, and the 73mm cannon lacked accuracy. But while the BMP-1 had failed to meet some of the demands of modern warfare, it was clear that the idea behind it was revolutionary. Something better was needed, and soon the Soviet military took action. The development of its successor, the BMP-2, began in 1972. By 1980, the BMP-2 was ready to enter the fray. On the surface, it looked similar to its predecessor with the same basic hull and shape. But inside, almost everything had changed. The most noticeable upgrade was the new armament. The BMP-2 replaced the 73mm cannon with a more accurate and powerful 30mm autocannon. This weapon was capable of firing armor-piercing and high-explosive rounds, making it much more versatile in combat. The 30mm cannon was perfect for dealing with infantry, light vehicles, and even low-flying aircraft. But the upgrades didn't stop there. The BMP-2's turret was redesigned, giving it full 360-degree rotation and a much higher rate of fire. It also added a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun to provide more effective anti-infantry defense. But the real game-changer came in the form of the missile system. Instead of relying on the old, cumbersome Sagar missile, the BMP-2 introduced new second-generation missiles, the AT-4 Spigot and the AT-5 Spandrel. These were much more advanced and capable of dealing with modern armored threats at a much greater range. With its new armament suite, the BMP-2 could now engage anything from infantry to heavily armored tanks and fortifications. The next big change came in the vehicle's internal layout. In the BMP-1, the commander and driver sat next to each other in the hull, which limited their visibility and left them vulnerable in case of an attack. In the BMP-2, the commander was moved to a two-man turret alongside the gunner. This allowed for better communication and coordination between the two, significantly improving the vehicle's combat efficiency. The internal passenger compartment was also reconfigured to hold 6 infantrymen instead of 8, but it was now safer, with better protection from blasts and fires. Despite these improvements, the BMP-2 still retained its amphibious abilities. It could still cross rivers and lakes with the same ease as the BMP-1, and its tracks were designed to allow it to move through terrain that wheeled vehicles could only dream of. Additionally, the vehicle was equipped with 6 smoke grenade dischargers, providing the crew with an extra layer of protection during combat. As the 1980s rolled on, the BMP-2 quickly proved itself in combat. It was used extensively in the Soviet-Afghan War, where its improved armor and firepower made it a formidable force against insurgents. The vehicle also saw action in the Iran-Iraq War and the Gulf War of 1991, where it continued to perform well against both infantry and enemy tanks. Its rugged design, powerful armament, and ability to carry infantry into the heart of battle made it a popular choice for Soviet-aligned nations and many of the countries that emerged after the collapse of the Soviet Union. But while the BMP-2 was a vast improvement over the BMP-1, it wasn't perfect. The vehicle's armor, while better than its predecessors, still wasn't strong enough to fully protect it from modern anti-tank weapons such as RPGs. To address this, many BMP-2s were fitted with additional armor blocks, improving their survivability on the battlefield. Over the years, the BMP-2 was used in numerous conflicts, including the Chechen Wars, the 2003 Iraq invasion, and the Syrian Civil War, where it continued to prove its worth. Many of the nations that used the BMP-2 modified it to suit their specific needs. For example, India continued to operate the BMP-2 well into the 21st century, with modifications made to suit the country's specific terrain and combat requirements. The legacy of the BMP-2 lives on today. Though the vehicle was eventually succeeded by the BMP-3 in the 1990s, the BMP-2 remains in active service in dozens of countries. Its design laid the foundation for modern infantry fighting vehicles, and its influence can still be seen in many of the armored vehicles used by armies around the world. The BMP-2's blend of firepower, protection, and mobility helped change the landscape of modern warfare, and its continued use speaks to its enduring effectiveness. So, why is the BMP-2 still in service today over 40 years after its introduction? The answer lies in its adaptability. Over the years, it has undergone numerous upgrades and modifications to keep pace with evolving threats. It has been adapted for a variety of combat environments, from urban warfare to desert conflicts, making it one of the most versatile IFVs ever created. The BMP-2 stands as a testament to the ingenuity and foresight of its creators, and its story is far from over. Whether on the battlefields of Syria or in the hands of modern militaries, the BMP-2 continues to play a crucial role in shaping the future of armored warfare. If you enjoyed learning about the BMP-1 and BMP-2, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories on military history and technology. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, and feel free to share your thoughts or ask any questions in the comments below. Your support helps us create more videos like this one. Stay tuned for more incredible stories from the world of military machines and armored warfare.